If you're interested in increasing inner joy, building a stronger you want to bring in more income, attract better health to yourself. Is that possible? Build confidence for better relationships with others. That's kind of obvious, Santos. Through taking control of a gift, of course, a lot more. Through taking control of a gift that you already have. This process of you become what you think about. In this quick share with you and I'm going to go over this. I want to discuss this topic of you become what you think about. So stay with me and get ready to receive something that's going to benefit you and those around you. Once again, Santos Jr., straight out of Stockton, a.k.a. soldier of self-mastery, philosopher of everyday victorious living. If you're new, remember to subscribe, leave a comment. It's going to make a difference, a very big difference in somebody's life, in somebody's moment. So remember to leave a comment. And you can support this mission by checking out more information that I'll put in the description box area. I'm encouraging you to look at. I want you to look around you. What do you see? What type of car do you drive? What color is your car? What's your car look like inside? Where you live? What kinds of toys do you have in your life? I don't care about toys myself. I'm using this because I want you to take a look at something here with me. You know, your family. What's your family like? You have a family? What about your habits? What are your habits? Do you know what your habits are? Are you happy with your habits? Now, what has brought that to you? What has brought these things? The car, the family, the house, the place where you live, the habits, and your attitude, right? Your feeling. How do you feel? Well, we don't live by feeling. I was thinking about that earlier today. You really don't want to live by emotions because you want to be able to dictate. You actually control how you feel. You are the one that's in control of that, not your emotions. Or at least you should be in control. I'm going to give you two examples of how these experiences are brought into our lives, right? For instance, my car, my red Kia that I purchased, before I went to the dealership and signed the lease, I did some research. I did a little bit of reading. I did a little bit of studying. I watched a few videos. I thought through the process before I bought that car. I thought through the process. In other words, I used my mind before I went and signed the lease. Now, I'm sitting in a red Kia, right? It's not my dream car. It isn't my dream car. A lot of things that we have in life may be temporarily, but the fact is, I do enjoy what I have, and I'm very thankful for what I have. I'm in the car that I thought about buying. I didn't just go to a dealer without thinking. What about my wife of 24 years I've been married to? Do we have the perfect marriage? We don't have the perfect marriage, but we've been married for 24 years and we both work at it. How did we get to 24 years? How did we connect? How did we come together? How did we get married, right? What was the process? Well, there was some thinking that went on before. You typically, before you're going to marry somebody, you're going to ask questions, you're going to do some research, you're going to study a little bit, and you're going to you should really think, because most marriages end up in divorce today. That's the sad state, right? They say 85% or higher of marriages end up in divorce. And I'm not here to focus on the negatives. I want to focus on the positives. I've been able to make it work. And believe me, the word divorce has been in our conversations many times. No more, though. We managed to eliminate that. So what am I saying by these things? Is this motivation of you become what you think about helping you, or is it bringing you down? Whatever it is that you're thinking about is going to determine the outcomes in your life. And that could go bad, right? What could be bad about your thinking process? Well, if you're not thinking positively, if you're a person that's living in fear, you're not confident, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not educating yourself, you're just living every day, just kind of following what you've been doing for so many years. You may find yourself in a bad position. You may find some misery in your life. And we know that all of that has come from, it's a result of your thinking process. You become what you think about. You will attract into your life what you think about. Now, that doesn't always work out the way we think it should. But I believe that there is a lot of truth to what we're talking about here. The good. If you focus on thoughts that are healthy thoughts, if you focus on thoughts that are going to help you with your finances, if you focus on thoughts that will help you educate yourself regarding your relationship that you may be in, that maybe you might be struggling with, we know that that's going to lead you to the good. We know that that is a good thing, right? That is a good. It's about this process, and this is a very, very, it's not an easy thing to explain. You have to experience it, and we do experience it. You and I both experience this all the time. We're just not consciously aware of what's really going on. I want to shine a light into how this mind process really works, how the subconscious is taking over, and what are habits. What are they? Your subconscious is 95% of your thinking process. What you're thinking behind the scenes is dictating your behavior. Right? Your conscious thinking can also dictate your behavior, because if you think about something, you'll tend to take action. Your subconscious, because it's on a deeper level and because it's not really seen, that's why it's called sub or unconscious, through habit, through continuous exposure, through repetition, your habit is built. You're living your life out through habits. Those habits are a product of what's going on in your subconscious. Right? A habit, what's a habit? A habit is just it's a thought pattern. It's a behavior that has been developed through repetitive activity. And you no longer have to work hard to do that activity, because your subconscious makes you do it, more or less, right? The little laws that are operating in your subconscious make you do that behavior. What happens when you begin to really focus in on a certain thinking pattern that are a result of an experience? Right? What happens when you begin to really focus in on certain thinking patterns? You begin to understand what's really going on in your life. You begin to see how those thinking patterns affect your behavior, how they manifest in your life. Now, if you realize that this experience of thinking and receiving ain't happening the way that you want, what can you start doing immediately? Do you like to read? Do you like to listen? Do you like to watch? You like hands-on? Because In order for you to begin changing these thought patterns, in order for you to get into your subconscious, you have to educate yourself. You have to, there's something that you're going to have to do. There's a particular way of learning that you really like, or maybe you don't know. Again, there's a process to all of this, right? But how do you like to learn? Through research, through journaling, through video therapy, through self-talk, counseling. All of these exercises have the capacity to help you retrain your subconscious. Again, I'm going to remind you, you become what you think about. Counseling, meditation and prayer and Bible reading. You know, you have to work through your strengths. You have to work through these, I call these strengths. Whatever your strengths are, the particular way that you really like to learn. There is a way that you like to learn. And when you employ that with desire, you get the results, right? What I'm doing may not necessarily be your tasty meal. I do a lot of self-talk. I do a lot of video therapy. I do a lot of journaling. I do a lot with affirmations and, you know, exercise for me. And then what I do is I cling on. I covers a house, right? When you start slapping paint, eventually you can cover an entire house with that kind of paint. It's the same thing with my rituals. I feel like I'm covering, you know, I'm covering an area of my life that is actually helping me improve, helping me change my behavior. But you have to know who you are. You have to, there's a couple of things that you really should be thinking about. Conscious awareness, peripheral awareness. We have to learn to stop and smell the roses, like they say. We have to learn to stop and think about what we're thinking about. You could do this. You could take control of this starting today. How? You get a plan together. Understand doing something over and over is the way into your subconscious. You know, you use the tools like we've talked about. Bible, prayer, affirmation works very, very well. Your self-talk. Coaching, networking with others who are further ahead in confidence and planning, writing, and exercise. You're going to learn through repetitive activity. And when you enjoy it, you develop your best even faster. I hope that this video, I hope that what I've shared with you in this video makes sense to you. Comment below specifically because you're going to help somebody. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this mission, and support this mission at soldiersofselfmastery.com. Once again, Santos Rolon Jr., a.k.a. Soldier of Self-Mastery. I will see you at the top. And remember, your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders.